Hello and welcome to my channel where I chat about my makes, knitting, crochet and patchwork and sewing. Now I do have a poorly cold, so I don't know how long I last, whatever, but I wanted to get something posted today, particularly because I am pleased. Last week I mentioned dyeing some fabric, and I am pleased half and half with how things turned out. I had on last week this dress, which is a Merchant and Mills pattern, which I made, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. And it was a beige, light brown colour. And it was a bit dowdy, perhaps needed brightening up. So I put it in a wash with this product, which is called a pre-dye. And I'll come to the other piece of fabric in a moment. But this is supposed to strip out all the original colour. Now, it didn't do that, but I'll chat about that in a moment. But I took the plunge. I put this corduroy in with the pre-dye. As I said, didn't strip the colour. But what I then did, I dyed the corduroy with this Dylon all in one, which is called Jeans Blue. And what you do is you have this tub, you put that in the drum of the machine. I think it was 60 degrees. It might have even been 40-degree wash. Can't remember. And I thought, oh, is that going to work? Because I have had some not so successful attempts at using these commercial dyes. I'm not a dyer. I'm not into natural dyeing or whatever. I just wanted to change the colour. So when it came out, I'm really pleased with it. It's I think it's obviously it's a deeper colour, and I think it looks much nicer. What was interesting is the cuffing, which is, I thought that was probably all a synthetic fabric. The cuffing has actually taken the dye as well. So I'm pleased with that. Otherwise, I would have just changed the cuffing to a navy cuffing. What hasn't taken is the beige thread that I use to sew, which is fine. I'm not too bothered about that. I will try and show the light is streaming in through the window. So whether or not I get that sort of the colour, perhaps a little bit lighter than that. I go back again, and it's just below the knee, and I've got some Marks and Spencer new tights, which will go fab with this. They're navy. What is on this pattern are pockets. Now the pockets are beige, I don't know what you'd call that, like a satin type fabric, obviously to go with the beige that was originally. Now I'm just going to take those out and sew up the seam, because I think the pockets, I either forgot about them or I put them in the wrong place, so they are quite low down. So I don't mind taking the pockets out and having a dress without pockets. So that's my first little achievement this week, is creating this new to me dress, which I think looks much nicer in this colour. Now, in terms of success with these dyes, I haven't dyed a lot of things, but obviously you can't go, hang on now, I'm not thinking straight because of my cold. You can't go really light if your original fabric is dark, but this is a darker fabric, darker dye on a beige, lighterish fabric. Obviously it's on episode 11. This is episode 12. So it's on episode 11, the colour. So I'm pleased with that. And I think it looks much nicer. Now, in terms of the other part of the experiment of using this pre-wash strip type product, wasn't so successful. Ages ago, I dyed a piece of linen. I think it was like a mustardy yellow. And I dyed it a navy, but it came out black. So I put this in with the stripper product as well. And it didn't do much. Now, I did make a mistake. I didn't read the instructions. The instructions tell you to empty the whole of the contents. Inside here was a sachet full of the product, and the instructions tell you to empty all of the product into the drum. I didn't read the instructions. And what I did, I emptied the product into the drawer of the front loader. So I don't know if that made a difference, but it has lightened it, but it hasn't obviously stripped the fabric of the colour. So, and it's very patchy. But I think I will persevere and perhaps get another one of this stripper product and put it into the drum rather than into the drawer at the top, and try and strip the colour again. Black was too harsh on me. I didn't want some black linen fabric, and obviously this is patchy, so this hasn't worked. Oh, so this is an experiment in 3 parts. What did work, and this light isn't great because the sun is coming in through the window, was a piece of linen that is now a nice navy, which it was supposed to be jeans blue. Perhaps this is jeans blue. I suppose it depends what jeans they are. But this is a usable piece of linen. I would like to make a blouse out of this. Whether or not there's enough, I'm not sure. But this worked quite well with the jeans blue colour. So that was a success. I was going to say something else. Yes, so that was the colour that this piece of linen was. I don't know, I may have to move spots because this is really not good on the light. That was the colour. Again, a muted grey, I suppose. So that's worked really well. And I'm hoping there's enough fabric there to make a blouse. You know, I'm going through a bit of a navy phase, I think. And I don't think I've made myself any garments for ages. So that would be nice. But I'm really pleased with this, this dress. So that's my first, I suppose it's a finished item because it's something that I did achieve over the week. My other finished item I'm really pleased with is this cutie mouse, which, oh, she's not very good in the light, is she? Oh, sorry, this is really not very good. Where can I put her? Can I put her there? Is she out of the light there? Oh, sorry, this is so rubbish. Right, she's there. And I'm really pleased with her. And where's the pattern, Julie? Here's the pattern, which I bought last year at the, I don't know, quilt show, whatever, in Glasgow. I don't know, NEC, whatever. It's massive centre in Glasgow, which was a really lovely craft fair. No, it wasn't a craft fair, it was a quilt show. I'm really not thinking straight. Sorry. So I'm really pleased with her. She's got long legs and little chunky feet, and she has a hood, and she has a pinafore apron with an appliqued heart, which isn't straight, but hey ho. She has a blouse, and she has some whiskers and some beady eyes and some elephantish ears. My partner thinks she's a rat. He says she's a mouse. And I bought the felt in a pack, and the pattern, can't remember. Oh, it's called House of Zandra, the patterns. And I looked up House of Zandra. I looked up, and they don't seem to have the mice on their website anymore, which is a shame, because it's a really cute make. They've got lots of other nice things, but I think they had these made up on the stall at the quilt show, and I couldn't resist. I didn't really need to have another cutie mouse, but I think she's great. I really like her. The beads I had in my stash in a drawer of beady type things, and the yarn, I'm not an embroiderer, but I did have, or I do have, I'll pick it up off the floor in a moment, this container of various colours of embroidery thread. And as I said, I'm not an embroiderer. I don't know much about embroidery thread. I bought that in a charity shop ages ago, possibly when I was visiting a friend in Cambridge. Last year, beginning of the year. Anyway, so I used the colours that were recommended in the pattern, which I had, and it's 3 strands out of 6-strand thread and blanket stitch. Now, I'm not a hand sewer, but I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely make, her friend is over on the table, I'm not going to walk over, but he's called Finley Mouse. So I may make Finley Mouse this week. We'll see how I get on. Now, is she a toy, or is she just a cutie to sit in my sewing room? I suppose she could be a toy for an older child, but she does have these little beads and the threads, so you would have to take care. There's the back of her pinafore and the blanket stitch and her crooked heart. But that's the rustic look, I suppose. So I'm pleased with Fiona Mouse. It's called House of Zandra, and they do the patterns and the kits of felt. They seem to have lots of animals, not, what would these be, anthropomorphic type things, but they have other animals as well. You don't often see a mouse wearing a dress, when they run across your kitchen floor or whatever. But so I made her, and I'm pleased with her. And what I thought I would do is just show you some of the other cutie things I've made in the past. I'm just going to move this basket, and then you can have a look at the little gallery that I've set up here. Just move these things out of the way. Now, these are some mice. No, they're not. They're bunnies. Mice? They're bunnies. And I made these, oh, blimey, 5 odd years ago. And I made 10 of them because they are so addictive. I'll show you the book in a minute, but they are really addictive to make. And They use up little scraps of fabric, buttons, which I have loads of. Again, tiny bits of embroidery for the face. Yeah, the eyes are just embroidered thread as well. And she's got chunky feet, and she has a little dress with a button. Oh, the button's not complete. Buttons and just little odd bits of fabric, rick-rack. And that's what I really like about sewing, is putting things together and coming up with different colour combinations. But I think she's cute. Hello. And, oh, in actual fact, this was the first one I made, and she is not as, I don't know what's the word, good. But that was my first one. And here's another two with blue fabric. Where I got that fabric, who knows, but it's really suits. So it's a small print, and it really suits this size of bunny. What is she? 12 inches, 18 centimeters. And then we have this one again in blue, and you put the blue in the ears as well. Again, where did I get that fabric? Don't know. Don't think I've got any of that left, but really a good size for this type of toy. A story I do have about one of these bunnies. Our daughter-in-law, oh gosh, 4 years ago, I had numerous of these left. I said, choose one and take it with you. Now, subsequently, she's a mum, and their little girl she's just turned 3. And she's chosen one of these, the little girl has chosen one of these bunnies as one of her favourite toys. So she takes it to bed, doesn't have the clothes on anymore. The dress is there. And she's called her after one of my daughter-in-law's friends. So she's Sophie Bunny. Oh, and she's so cute. So she takes Sophie Bunny to bed, which when I made Sophie Bunny all those years ago, didn't know she would be our granddaughter's little favourite toy. So those come from this book, which is a Helen Phillips book, which I bought when we were living in North Wales in Betws-y-Coed, which is a beautiful little village. And I think I've made some other things in there, but there's the Sophie bunnies in beautiful fabric. Could not resist. And it's called Patchwork Gifts by Helen Phillips. I know she has an Instagram account. Does she have YouTube? Not sure. But there's lots of nice things in here to give you some nice ideas of cute little things you can make. I think often it's the fabric, isn't it, that makes it. But I'm interested in using what I have. So I don't really want to go out and buy more fabric. But lots of lovely things in here that nice to look at, or gives you some idea of things you can make. Now, Rhonda, who's an American subscriber, hi Rhonda, was saying she bought the, is it Luna Lappin book, which I've bought as well at the same craft show that I bought the kit for Fiona Mouse. And there's lovely things in there. There's outfits. It's like a little story of Luna Lappin. And I think Luna Lappin is so popular because she is lovely. She's so nice. And I may get around to making some outfits. I think these are about the same size as Luna Lappin. Would I make the Luna Lappin when I've got these? I don't know. And I do have other things to make as well. But that book is lovely. It's over on my bookshelf now, so I'm not going to nip over and get it. But they are addictive. And the bodies are machine stitched and the clothes are machine stitched. But then there is hand stitching as well, which is nice to sit down, isn't it? And even though I wouldn't say I'm a really neat hand stitcher, it's nice to sit down and do some hand stitching. So they are my bunnies from Pretty Patchwork Gifts, which is, I think, are cute. I then have 3 mice, which 3 other mice, knitted mice these are, which again, I made these a while ago. I'll show the pattern in a minute. And not sure how many of these I've made. The pattern does give you instructions for Christmas elves or what, or Christmas. I'll show the pattern now. So these are little knitted mice on, I think it's 4-ply yarn. Again, you know, just using stuff from my stash. She's got that sock yarn. This is sock yarn, I think, which somebody gave me. This sock yarn, I think my youngest son, I think when he was about 15, bought me some balls of yarn for Christmas. Oh, I did make the socks, but this is a bit of spare from the sock yarn. I think it was from that Tiger shop, but I was so pleased. What a lovely gift for your 15-year-old son. He's 27 now. Anyway, and some just little beads that I've had left. These have beady eyes and some, I think this is crochet yarn for whiskers and little embroidered nose. So, and then there's him, and he has a sock 4-ply jumper, the little popper at the back, and some little trews. The boots are all knitted as part of the leg. So there's, sorry about the light, this is a bit rubbish in places. Anyway, so those 3, I know I knitted one for my friend in South Wales, and I've knitted some Christmas ones for her grandson, and I did knit some for our granddaughter for last Christmas, but she was really anti-Father Christmas. She was really frightened, so I don't know if they come out this year. So let's get the pattern. So this is the pattern. I keep, these are, I don't know what patterns are in here, bits I've printed off. I think these are the patterns I like. Right, there they are. And it's a knits and pieces pattern, knits and pieces. And I did do the Father Christmas one at the bottom as well. And it's, who's it by? I'm going to have to take it out of there. They're called Poppy and Ben. And you could do all sorts with these, couldn't you, in terms of using up little scraps and bits and pieces. Poppy and Ben. And who is it by? Let's see. Oh dear, I can't see. Must just be Poppy and Ben. And I remember, oh, no, that's not it. Anyway, I bought this when I was visiting my South Wales friends in Pontypridd, a shop that sells yarn, which I know my mother would have gone to. It's been there years. Shaw's, I think is called. That's it, Shaw's in Pontypridd. So I bought this and knitted away on, I don't know what size needles. It says you can do double knit or 4-ply. I did the 4-ply because I used mainly sock yarn. So that's a little foray into my cuties. And there will be more probably, because that's the type of thing I can't resist. She does have her cape, which, and in the pattern she just does have a bow on her head, but I don't know, didn't get around to the bow. And there they are. So she's a success. This is a success. And the other thing I've been working on is this stick weaving, which again was a kit I bought at, not a kit, the pattern I bought at the craft show in Glasgow, and these needles. And I said last week I thought this was really expensive. It's like £10, and I'm sure you could make those. Just got a little bit of fine thread and some holes drilled through. Anyway, it does use quite a lot of yarn, and it is quite boring, to be honest, but I'm going to persevere. What have I done so far? I've made this section. This is hopefully going to be a rug, but obviously the bigger the circle gets, the more yarn you're going to use. I bought this yarn in a charity shop many years ago, and I think it is rug yarn. It's quite rough. You start off, you cut 2 7-meter strips of yarn, and they can be any colour because you don't see them because they're covered up, and you thread them through the sticks and through the thread at the end, and then you just use a figure of 8 to create the fabric. I was going to say something else then. So you start off with 2 7-meter strips, and this is the result of those 2 7-meter strips. That's how much you get. And then as you go on, you join your next strips to that section, and you sew through these to make your mat. The colours I have left are some pinks, a bit more brown, a beige, and another pink. So they're a nice combination of colours. Whether or not I'll have enough, we'll see. I must have some other fabric, some other yarn that's suitable. But I like this because it is that, it's quite thick. Rug type yarn, I don't know. So, I'm going to bring this to a close soon because my voice is going. Plans for this coming week: to work on the rug. I have been trying to crochet is my South Walian, crochet a granny square in rows, but I didn't get on with it, so I've undone that, and I'm going to do a granny squares in, just keep completing a big granny square, and I have started that. So I need plans to work on this, the granny square. I may have a go at, years ago, I used to make, now these are little pom-poms that you can put lavender in. Literally, this must have been 10 years ago. And I have some jars of lavender seeds, or do you call them seeds? Well, yeah, lavender. And I have some lavender oil, so I could refresh those. So I'd like to finish these. This is, I can't get it out now, some hand stitching. Come on. And they end up as little pom-poms or stars, whatever, that you can then put in your drawers. I love the smell of lavender. So I might have a go with those. I think this is Liberty fabric that I bought literally 30 odd years ago in a shop in Ripley when we lived in Derbyshire. And they were sort of patchwork squares. I do have some of this because it's nice lightweight fabric. So I might get on with those. So that's 3 things. And then what I should get on with, we should get rid of the shoulds, shouldn't we, is some mending. I have a pile of jeans I can see from here that need mending. That was partly the reason I set up this channel, is to get me finishing doing the things that were piling up. So I may do some mending, but I've got these things on the go as well. So nothing major, nothing big. There are some quilts away in my head, but I'm not going to start those this week. So that's me for now. Thanks very much for subscribing and for watching. It's nice to have your company. I may add a little bit of footage of a little walk I did this morning. We live on the banks of the Clyde in Glasgow, and we're looking after our daughter-in-law's little dog. So you have a dog, you have to take it on a walk. And it's a beautiful morning out there. So I just took a little bit of footage of the banks of the Clyde swishing up against the sea and him running. We're not really doggy people, but we look after him. He's easy going. And him running for a stick. So if you're interested in a little dog running for a stick and some views over the Clyde, do wait till the end. So we're on 30 minutes. That's a long one for me. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and see you again soon. Bye.
Huh?